Coming up, 7 brand new releases 2025. You know how it is. It's the time for the whole video of March 2025. Of course, today's St. Patrick's Day, so stay tuned. Sometime in this video, I'm going to share with you some additional savings just for you. So relax, get a nice cup of coffee, enjoy. The 7 brand new designers are up next. This is going to be just a designer's haul. Normally when I do these major hauls, it's about 10 plus fragrances that I include some designers, some indies, and of course some niche. And these are really talked about, sought after, brand new 2025 releases. So we're gonna kick it off here with a flanker, of course. You know how we roll. We talk about brand new releases. I give you guys my first impressions, letting you know exactly what I thought initially of these such first impressions. And of course, we're gonna highlight right now Y from YSL. This is going to be Le Parfum 2025. Now, looking at the bottle from 2021, it was a black bottle with a, Yves Saint Laurent in a dark label, metal label in the actual bottle itself. This one here from the pictures itself is going to be a dark blue with a silver metal plate, also Yves Saint Laurent. I think the bottles are going to be very similar. Now the scent is what we're looking forward to trying here. And looking at these bottles, are going to be cookie cutter. As we know, the industry, it's a lot of regurgitation, more of the same, changing a couple of notes here and there. As we know with this Y line, it's predominantly a sweet lavender, sage, a little herbal, sweet, of course, aldehydic kind of composition. Here is the 2025 Le Parfum. The bottle is, again, the dark blue. I don't know if you can really make out that it's blue, but it is. It's a dark blue, and again, different from the OG 2021 Le Parfum, which this is actually a dark, matte finish, kind of a Y, wrap around the bottle. The caps on these are not magnetics. The sprayers with Yves Saint Laurent are one of the best in the game. Really nice long mist. Now, the smell on this one, it's going to be one of those, been there, done that. Does it smell bad? No, it does not. It smells good. It's very captivating. It's not unique or anything you haven't tried before. Again, that sweet lavender with tonka beans in the base, some aldehydic facets, even slightly aquatic, ozonic. So very easy to wear. You can potentially wear this easily as a signature scent. The likes of Bleu de Chanel, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Armani Acqua di Gio. All those fragrances will come to mind when you smell this as a great signature scent to smell good, fresh, clean, appealing, inviting, yada, 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 great for compliments. It'll check those boxes. But if you already have, fresh, aquatic, clean fragrances in your collection, it's really gonna be more of the same. The thing that really captured my curiosity, I should say, with this one was the pine needles and balsam fir that supposedly it has in the heart. You do have a ginger up top here, which is nice and spicy. That patchouli aldehydic tonka bean base is, again, more of the same. And the pine needle lavender balsam fir heart, supposedly in this fragrance, is really not predominant as I would like it to be. It's, again, more of the same on this one here. It's gonna get a matte release for me. It's not something that you should run, at least my opinion here, guys. You can do whatever you want, of course. It's not something that I would run and pick it up retail. I smell well, so you'll have to. And of course, you can always try them before you buy them, which I highly recommend. Do not blind buy, because otherwise you're gonna be wasting a lot of money. And then you're gonna have a lot of these fragrances just sitting on your shelf. You're not gonna wear them. So this is one of those. In fact, I'm gonna talk about another one here from Polo, from Ralph Lauren. This is going to be their newest iteration. This is a 125, 4.2 ounce of Eau de Parfum, new flanker of last year's Polo 67. Now, that Yves Saint Laurent that I just talked about here is quite similar to what this fragrance was last year, plus the pineapple note that this one had, the Polo 67. Again, easy to wear, great for spring and summer, signature scent kind of stuff. Same appointments, dark blue with silver, appointments on the bottle itself, on the box itself, I should say. The bottle is going to be a little shinier on the Polo here, silver, shiny appointments, Eau de Parfum. This is a flanker from the original from last year, which was an Eau de Toilette. This is an Eau de Parfum. I'm not foreseeing this one going to be a fragrance that's going to deviate too much from the DNA from last year. I think it's still going to be appealing, easy to wear, great for compliments. It's going to check those boxes just like the Le Parfum I just talked about, but it's going to be more of the same with that blue, ozonic, beautiful bee sprayers. Again, Ralph Lauren is one of the best ones when it comes to their bottles, their packaging. And this one is actually pretty nice. It kind of toned down a little bit of that fruity pineapple that the original had and made it a little bit spicier and definitely woodier. This is nice. Tonka beans are definitely here. Definitely more spices here. I'm picking up maybe cardamom, cinnamon, Definitely a very spicy and woody composition. I'm liking this one actually more than the OG from last year because this is going to be a little bit more refined, if you will, a little bit darker, a little bit spicier and woodier, as I said before. So this is a good one. Not bad. Again, it's not going to be anything groundbreaking that you haven't tried before, but I think it's definitely a step up from the one from last year, which again, not a bad fragrance. It's just very uninspiring, to be honest with you. And if you looked at that review that I did, a full review for you guys on this fragrance last year, I said exactly that. Easy, great for compliments, fresh, clean, inviting, all that stuff, but very uninspiring kind of a DNA. This one here, I think it's definitely a step up because it, again, gave me more spices and the woodiness here is definitely more predominant, which I like. The other one was slightly floral. You had that fruity note of the pineapple, and again, it was more aquatic and ozonic. This one here, you have the aquatic, ozonic tendencies or nuances, but it really is a more spicy and woodier scent as a whole. And we're gonna talk about a line that I'm not really a big fan of. I think it's a very, you know, youthful, playful, very sweet kind of a brand, which I think it caters to a younger demographic. Nothing wrong with that, it's just not my style. And of course, it's going to be the Bad Boy collection from Carolina Herrera. There is, however, one from this line that I do enjoy. I reviewed for you guys years ago, and it's called Bad Boy Extreme. The reason why I love that fragrance because it has a really nice nutty sesame seeds, hazelnuts, chocolatey kind of nuance, which is very similar to an old favorite of mine from the house of Givenchy, which was called Very Resistible from 2005. So Bad Boy Extreme thus far has been my favorite. Everything else is just a little bit too sweet, a little bit of more of the same, nothing really inspiring. So this one here is going to be their Elixir Bad Boy, which again, every company is doing Elixir, and why wouldn't they do one, right? So let's see what this one is all about. The box here, again, black with gold appointments, nothing really extremely inspiring or crazy, just more of the same cookie cutter stuff. I went with the big one. This is 100 ml. And of course, the little lightning bolt that has this gradient from darker to light. It's an ambery glass. The sprayers are usually on the cap. The cap does not come off. The same deal is the deal with this one. So let's take it for a test drive. Amazing sprayer here, very long mist, very broad, very powerful. And this is a nice scent, but again, nothing really out of the ordinary. This is not gonna be anything that you're gonna smell. I mean, here's the thing. It's not gonna be something that you're gonna smell and say, wow, this is a bad smelling fragrance. Nothing like that at all. It is actually a really good fragrance, but it's gonna have resemblances and similarities to a lot of things that you're already accustomed to, especially if you're big on fragrances, if you smell a lot of stuff, if you have a large collection. This is gonna be a lot of more of the same. You're gonna have a woody / leathery undertone here that harps into Tuscan leather from Tom Ford, but on a sweeter, lighter level. So this to me is a predominantly cocoa powder / Tuscan leather kind of a situation on a lighter, less animalistic kind of a, nuance here. So a nice leathery scent. If you're getting into leathers, if you're a youngster out there and you want some, and by the way, let me just say, this one here right now, the way it sits, it's going to be one of my favorites just because it's not overly sweet. I do love leathers, so it does have a really cool leather nuance here that's kind of tamed. So if you're a youngster out there and you're getting into leathers, this is going to be a great segue into leathers because it's not going to be animalistic, hard to wear. It's going to be a sweet, leathery accord with a cocoa, chocolatey, powdery kind of a vibe to it. It smells good. It's not bad. I don't think it's going to be beastly in performance. Nothing here so far. I don't think it's going to be beastly in performance from everything I talked about in this video so far. But this one here, perhaps from the two previous releases I just talked about, the Polo 67 Eau de Parfum and the Le Parfum 2025 edition of YSL's Y, I believe the Carolina Herrera's Bad Boy Elixir will be the strongest one so far. And as far as the scent goes, I think it is the most intricate and more elaborate fragrance here from the things we talked about so far, the three fragrances. So it's going to get a really good release from me, or I'd say very good. I shouldn't say really good, but very good. It's on a scale. It's going to be from the midpoint up. So little upper scale, better refined kind of a release here. I do love the leather cocoa smoky nuance that it's giving me. I get a sweet lavender in the heart as well. That Tuscan leather, very tamed ombre leather, kind of a tamed, sweeter vibe here, and that cocoa powdery kind of chocolatey vibe here also, and maybe even some patchouli and cedarwood in the base. This is a good one. I'd say very good, but not really, really good, but very good. Again, if you have leathers in your collection and you're already familiar with leather notes, this is not going to be something groundbreaking, but again, if you're getting into leathers, the Bad Boy Elixir is going to be a great option for you to check out. Next up, we're going to talk about one from 𝗏𝗏 that's getting a lot of limelight. People are saying this is the best one from the collection. I'm going to be the judge of that, of course. This is 𝗏𝗏 Forever Wanted Elixir. Again, another elixir. Every brand's putting out one, you know, so why not? Let's see what we get out of this one. Nothing really great about these bottles. They're very tacky. Not my kind of thing. Again, it's going to fall in the same category as the Carolina Herrera Bad Boy. More of a youthful, playful youngster out there, teenage to early 20s will really rock these. Anybody could, of course, but I think that's where it's going to fall. All right, this is going to be sweet, quite sweet at that. I'm also getting a leathery kind of undertone. This is quite fruity as well. If you do appreciate 1,000,000, if you do appreciate, you know, sweeter, leathery kind of, this does have a leather undertone, which is nice. It's not overly sweet though. It's a very nice fruity kind of sweetness that I'm getting here. It smells quite nice. There is a leathery undertone here. Some woods in the base, patchouli, cedar. I'm getting a little bit of a vetiver note here too. It's nice, definitely tonka beans. It's gonna be one of those vanillic tonka kind of a sweet fragrances. It smells good. It's not, again, groundbreaking. There's nothing here so far that I could say, wow, this is something extremely different that I've never tried before. This is gonna have nuances of different things, of course. This is designers, of course, and the designer counters, you're gonna have that. It's reharshing and you know, regurgitations of the same things, just tweaks here and there to give it a little bit of a spin. And of course, different bottles, different names. You know, young people nowadays with short attention span, they want new things all the time. And that's what these companies do. They want to cater to that. It's cash cow, it's money grabs most of the time. But this is not bad. This is a good smelling one. By the way, Wanted by Night, still my favorite. And the Most Wanted Intense from last year is my second favorite. This one here is going to be a matte release for me. This is going to be very similar to a lighter, more subdued version of the scent Elixir from Hugo Boss. So if you like that fragrance, but you wanted something a little less sweet, not as pungent, not as powerful as the scent Elixir, this one here would be a good alternative to that because it has a lot of similarities to that fragrance. Of course, it's gonna borrow elements from a lot of different other fragrances that you know that has vanilla, tonka, sweet undercurrents, but all in all, this is going to be very similar to the scent Elixir from Hugo Boss. So if you wanted something a little bit more tame, not as sweet, not as pungent, not as powerful, this would be a good alternative. But you know, it's all going to depend on your taste. And of course, wearing on the skin is going to be a big preponderant because it's going to tell you whether or not the fragrance agrees with you about the chemistry, number one, and you like wearing the fragrance for hours on out. Performance on this one here, I think it's going to be average to above average, but not as strong as the scent, you know, from Hugo Boss that this one is similar to. I'm gonna tell you guys that you can try everything in this video, all 7 brand new fragrances, and of course, thousands to choose from our partners, of course, perfume.com. You can use my code at any time, which is MAX15, giving you guys 15% off site-wide. But there's one better right now because today is St. Patrick's Day, which I talked to you guys about in the beginning of the video. You can actually use the code Lucky25, which will give you guys 25% off site-wide. This is a limited run, I believe 24 to 48 hours, so it's gonna be listed below, you know, so you guys can check out all the details of this code, but don't miss out because 25% is something that's never been done at the site. Usually it's a BOGO thing. So site-wide 25%, I think it's the first time ever from this Lucky 25 code that I'm sharing with you today. So check it out, perfume.com, all details below. Enjoy. You can try any of the fragrances I talked about here and anything else, niche, indie designer, anything new, old, hard to find, vintage, discontinued, you name it. Check out on the site, enjoy the code. And again, it's limited, so after this code is over, you can go back to MAX15 or do the try more, save more thing, which you can save up to 25, but then you have to have larger orders. With this one here, you can get anything from 1 to as many scents as you want to try for 25% off site-wide. Okay, let's get into the last 3 fragrances here. Of course, the next one is going to be the new Gucci Garden collection. This is going to be, of course, their more prestigious line. This is a new line for them. This is a new collection, and this is going to be Fiori di Neroli. In Italian, of course, in English, it's Neroli flower. You know, I do enjoy Neroli petitgrain, bitter orange. I think those are great notes, especially for right now, spring and summer. So I'm very curious about this one. I think it's going to be beautiful sprayer, beautiful blast, nice and wide and long as well. You know, of course, this is going to be a great Neroli petitgrain, bitter orange, very inviting, bright kind of a fragrance, androgynous. Anybody can wear this, and this is going to be quite similar to Neroli Portofino from of course Tom Ford. This is going to be this Mediterranean vibe to it. It's quite floral, slightly bitter, nice and fruity, very you know, ethereal, very natural smelling, very uplifting, you know, effervescent, bright, great, happy scent for spring and summer. This is really good. Looking at the notes, it's not going to be anything too crazy because usually these kind of scents are not going to be, number one, very long lasting, and number two, they're going to be quite, you know, simple in structure because all they're trying to do is make you feel refreshed, smell good, clean, inviting. So that's what this is going to do. And again, the notes you're talking about, Italian neroli, petitgrain, and cedar in the base. The wood here is quite nice. It's coming through, but it does have a bitter, floral, orangey kind of an undertone that I think it's going to be here throughout the whole life of the fragrance. I do think it's going to be more of a linear scent, but all in all, it smells really good. And this could potentially make some great lists out there when it comes to spring and summer scents. This could be a great signature scent if you're looking for one to rock in the warmer, you know, months and seasons of 2025. This gets a good for me. It's not, you know, like I said, anything groundbreaking, but the smell itself, it smells really luxurious, really well put together. And I do think that the performance will be quite good, despite the fact that it is a quote-unquote simpler fragrance. So it's got good potential. You know, like I said, normally I do enjoy this kind of DNA when it comes to, you know, warmer seasons. So it gets a good for me. Nothing groundbreaking again here, but it is a very good smelling scent. Next up, we're gonna talk about one that perhaps will be very sweet. And this is one that's getting a lot of talks out there. This is a flanker, of course, of a flanker of a flanker. So you have Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male, then you had Jean-Paul Gaultier, many flankers over the years. And then we had the Elixir a couple years ago. And this one here, of course, is going to be their newest one, Le Male Elixir Absolu. The canister is going to be similar to all the canisters from Jean-Paul Gaultier. This one here has the ridges. It's a gold in color. Let's pop it open. And this, I went with a smaller one because I wasn't sure this is going to be great. You know, a lot of times this is overly sweet for my taste. The bottles look really cool. I love the fact that they upgraded the little stopper here. And again, full gold in comparison to the older one. The older one, you could actually see the juice because these ribs here, these ridges, were actually see-through and amber in color. This one here is full gold. Again, the whole bullion, you know, all gold kind of color is something that's kind of paying homage or nudge to 1 Million, which is again, youthful, playful, you know, party, going out, romantic, you know, that kind of stuff. But here's the thing, this one does smell good. And I go as far as saying from all the fragrances you're talked about today, the ones that were, you know, sweeter, fruitier, more jovial, youthful, playful, this one here is my favorite. There is a very nice cinnamon, I believe cardamom. There's a nice melange and groups of spices coming up here, up front and center, that are very nice and inviting. There is an ambery undertone, of course, an undercurrent that is spicy, ambery, and woody. I don't know if there's boozy notes here, but it gives me almost like a boozy rum / bourbon kind of a, you know, feel to the fragrance. It smells good. I think this is, the timing right now is not great because we are getting into, you know, spring and summer season. I think this is gonna be great for fall and, of course, winter, or early spring, I should say, evening wear, you know, temperature controlled environments. I think this would be okay. And I think dressier attires for sure. The scent profile is really good. It is my favorite so far from this whole haul. So this is gonna get a very good. I think there's tremendous potential for this one. Of course, I have to revisit it and perhaps feature in, you know, fall of 2025. But all in all, the best one so far as intricacy, you know, uniqueness, nothing groundbreaking, but the way it's constructed, it's giving me vibes that are a little more unique, a little more exotic, and a little bit more refined than everything I tried in this video so far. The cinnamon is very prominent in this one. You don't have the Artemisia / boozy absinthe note that you had with the original. There is said to be a plum note here. The plum note here, there is some fruitiness here, but I wouldn't quite say it's plum. It's more like it's plum-like. It is fruity. The cinnamon is very up front and center. So if you do like cinnamon heavy scents, you're gonna like this one, but it's a very cinnamon, like wood, like the bark of the cinnamon, not so much a powdery, sweet cinnamon. It's more of like a woody, dry cinnamon. I don't want to get too much into this one. If you guys want to see a full review on this one in comparison with the original Elixir, let me know in the comments and I'll come back with that review. Now, the next one here is the last one from today's haul, the 7th fragrance in today's haul, and of course, the newest 𝗕𝗙𝗄𝗄 Eau de Parfum Intense. Usually I leave the last one for something that I'm more curious, and I think it'll be more something that I'll be gravitating to wearing myself. And of course, I love the 𝗕𝗙𝗄𝗄 DNA with that bitter orange, the vetiver in the base, the smokiness, a core, that inky vibe that you get. This is 𝗕𝗙𝗄𝗄 Eau de Parfum Intense. I believe this is the 5th flanker of this particular fragrance. Anyway, let me crack this open.
𝗕𝗏𝗄𝐴 Eau Le Parfum Intense. The box here looks very similar to all the different ones. Dark with these taupe, gray kind of appointments, white and orange, which is the color of Hermès, their logo. But nothing really crazy. The inside of the box is going to be orange as well, which is again the color of the brand. And the bottle itself, I wish the bottle was actually this color here, the ambery color with maybe silver, appointments and maybe bronze, appointments. I think it would be cooler. But they went with the darker edges, which is nice. Still amber. 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝐴 Eau Le Parfum Intense. The mechanism has now changed. They no longer has that slide up and down mechanism that you had with the older 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝐴. Let's take it for a test drive. You have the Hermès logo here, and of course you're going to have the etched batch code into the bottle itself, which of course should match. It's actually etched right in the corner here, which is going to match the box, the bottom of the box as well. So let's go. Sprayer, absolutely amazing, beastly. Again, these are going to be your high-end designer brands. Hermès is definitely one of them. And wow, this smells good. This reminds me of a deeper and spicier version of Vetiver Tonka, I should say, from Hermès. Hermès Vetiver Tonka is a great fragrance. It's my favorite from the Hermès collection. And this one here, it has similarities to that fragrance. It has the bitter orange. It has a honey-like, deep kind of nuance here that to me is reminding me a little bit of the Vetiver Tonka from Hermès. It smells good. I think from everything that I try here in this haul, it is my favorite. It is something that I do enjoy Vetivers, guys. So when I smell something that's Vetiver forward and it's very well made and very constructed, well constructed with some citrus notes, some heavy woods, it really speaks length to my taste. So this one here gets a huge thumbs up. Great potential for this one here. If I had this fragrance before, it would have definitely made my top spring designers for this year. And I'm gonna be wearing this, even though it was not in my top 12 this year of designers, because I didn't have this fragrance back then when I put that video together, but it's gonna be one of my heavy wearing designers this year. I am mostly certain that will make my top fall. I think for early fall, as you transition into winter, this is gonna be a great scent. All in all, this could actually be a signature scent. If you don't go too heavy on the sprayers when it's really hot out, I think you're gonna be okay. But right now, springtime, this would be a great one. In fact, I will be rocking this today as my scent of the day. It smells really good. Opens up really nice with that bergamot and black pepper kind of a combo. It's spicy for sure, but it's also citrus and uplifting. But then you have the undercurrent that's a little heavy with the woods, the licorice, and of course that coffee note. The coffee here is not a heavy coffee like a macchiato or anything that's overly sweet. It's more of a dry green coffee kind of a thing, which I love. So, which is also similar to the coffee that you get with the Vetiver from Dior, that very green, aromatic, and very inviting coffee. This is a really good one, gets a huge thumbs up, like I said, one of the best from this video. And of course, if you want to see any full review on anything we talked about here today, just let me know in the comments and I'll come back with that full review. As always, guys, thank you so much for your support. If you do enjoy the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more, hit the bell so you get these videos straight into your feed. I am your guy. I keep you in the know when it comes to all things fragrances, best codes, discounts, deals, try before you buy it, giveaways, you know how we roll. Guys, stay tuned for more. Thank you so much. I'll catch you guys right back here with another one very soon. Take care.